Hey, this is Mark Moore, aka Tuxedo Mark, at various places on the internet. It's 12:04 p.m. according to a computer clock on Monday, August 25th, 2014. And I'm gonna share my experience from the latest CGA show, which I went to 2 days ago, Saturday, August 23rd. And so I guess I'll start at the beginning. I've been looking forward to the CGA Show for a long time, honestly, because it's only twice per year. It's really the only geek-oriented convention in this county that they hold it twice per year. It's a little bit early this year. Usually it's around September or something. This time it was in August. And also it was a different venue. Usually it's held at the National Guard Armory in Crystal River, maybe around 15 minutes northeast of me. Easy to get to. But the armory's being, they're doing some interior work on it or something. I'm not sure what. So this year it was held at the, hang on, let me look it up. I can go to their site. It was at the Central Ridge Community Center in Beverly Hills. So it's around a half hour away. It's still in the same county, but it's around a half hour away, and it took a longer time to get there. I don't think I've ever been there before, so I used my GPS, and as it turned out, it took me through all these weird directions and stuff, but by the time when I left the place later on, it turned out that it was much easier to get to than the GPS had me do. So yeah, but with any luck we'll be back to Armory for the next CGA show, because this one, a lot of things went wrong, and not just over there but on my part too. First of all, when I got there, I discovered I had left my picture camera at home. And this was doubly frustrating because not only would I not be able to take pictures, but I had actually turned around while I was still on my street. I turned around and I went back home because I had forgotten my clip-on I Love Yuri badge, which I already put in my room, but I had gotten it at the previous CGA show, and I had meant to wear it to this one. And I remembered that I forgot it in my room, so I went back and I got it. Hang on, let me actually go to my room and get some stuff. Yeah, Mishu was lying back there near the bird cages. He wanted to go into the kitchen to eat. Alright, this is the I Love Yuri badge. So I went back to my room and I got this, not realizing all the while that my picture camera was lying on my desk here. And I had even pulled this thing out, the USB cable, because I knew I would be taking my camera, and I even put in the camera carrying case, and ultimately I just forgot to take it. I also left the house late. The Registration opened at 10. No opening ceremonies at 11, but I planned to walk around the dealer room at 11. But I left the house just a few minutes before 11. And I got there 11, I don't know, 20 something maybe? I don't remember. But what happened when I discovered that I forgot my picture camera? Because I'd gotten the little paper band. It was orange this time and no duck pattern, which was unfortunate. But I'd got it. I had put it on my right wrist, and I was let in. And I looked through my bag of stuff to get my camera to take pictures in the dealer room, and I realized I didn't have it. So I went back into the lobby, which was a really small room, and I asked if there was any place around here that I could buy a digital picture camera. So first I stopped in, I left. I went and I stopped in Walgreens. They didn't have it. I stopped in Dollar General. They didn't have it. I stopped in CVS. They had it, even though she claimed that they didn't, but I happened to discover one on the shelf along with the picture cameras, with the film-based cameras, and I found one. It's a Vivitar Vivicam 25. As far as I could tell, there was no mention that it could take an SD card, so I didn't get one. I didn't really know how to operate it, but I took pictures, and when I realized it could hold only like 30 pictures, I found a way to delete some previous pictures that I took in a dealer room, so I could take more pictures of the costume contest prejudging and the costume contest itself. I'm still trying to install the drivers for this camera onto my computer so I can actually transfer the pictures that I took. I don't know how that's gonna go, but looks like it's still working on it. Oh, Misha wants out now. You can see Misha by the door. He wants out. Okay. Come on, Misha. I can't leave the door open the whole time because of the air conditioning. Come on, Misha. Come on. Okay. Alright, so I got back to the show shortly before noon, and that was significant because at noon I had a Sailor Moon discussion that I had planned. Okay. Even like before I left the house on the day of, I was still working on it. I printed out this 2-page thing of notes of, you know, for Sailor Moon discussion, and I had burned a DVD of music and clips from the series, from the various series. It was pretty much all for nothing, because not only was there no sign by the panel room indicating there would be a Sailor Moon discussion, there was a sign outside in the lobby area, but there was no indication that the room itself was the panel room. Anyway, I took my portable DVD player with me because I figured, you know, they might not get everything set up right. And sure enough, there was a widescreen TV in the room, but there was no power cord for it or anything else. There was a jumble of cables, but it's like, okay. So I hooked up my portable DVD player. I got everything ready, and then no people showed up. Well, people showed up, but they weren't really there for the panel. It turned out that the panel room became the just come in and hang out room when you didn't want to deal with the crowd in the dealer room. Right, so I went out into the dealer room, and Jason, one of the guys that organizes the CGA show, spotted me. I guess he had been looking for me at the time. And I mentioned, if, that the TV needed a power cord. And he's like, yeah, I can see that. And I asked if there was a way to hook up my DVD player using AV cables, because that's the only thing that it took. He asked if it took HDMI. I said no. He's like, okay, we can do that. But then he just decided to get his laptop and hook up the laptop to the TV, which it worked. But when he asked me to play a song, I played Moonlight Densetsu, and sure enough, the sound came out of only the DVD, out of only the laptop, not the TV itself. Just like what happened with my Transformers, or my fan acting panel last time. And he's like, and I brought that up to him, and he's like, yeah, I'm not going to pretend that didn't happen, or something like that. But I'm like, it's sufficiently loud coming out of the laptop. And he's like, no, I will not accept that. I will make it louder. Wahaha. He started acting like all mad scientist type. There were these speakers, like loud speakers on a stand. He hooked it up. Moonlight Densetsu blared out. He even hooked up a microphone for me, which kind of, my voice went in and out because the bottom piece was loose or something, the bottom connection. Some people showed up. I asked, are you here for a Sailor Moon panel? They're like, no. And I was like, would you like to be? So I had an audience of like 2. They weren't familiar with Sailor Moon, but then a girl came in with like her parents, and I asked, are you a Sailor Moon fan? Okay, yeah. She was like really quiet. I'm like, who's your favorite character? She's like, I don't know. So that's the kind of audience that I had to work with. So much for the discussion points. So I just basically tried to give a basic overview of what Sailor Moon is. I showed off some clips. And when I started, I had the entire 4th episode of the new anime series on there. I started playing that, and the girl and her parents got up and left. The only people that were left were like a guy and girl that had come in, and I think they were just mostly talking with each other. So I just kind of awkwardly stood off to the side of the TV, and I watched episode 4 on my own. Now, some other girls came in, and I thought, they kind of look like they're interested in this, but then I think they were talking to each other as well. So my panel started like a half hour late and basically fizzled out. It was disappointing. It ended shortly after 1, and that's when the Otaku Army had their thing. There was no one scheduled for 1 o'clock according to the online schedule, and by the way, we did not get paper schedules again. And I also didn't have to fill out a slip of paper with my email address and asking how I discovered this convention. It was just like, when I came in, the woman was like, hey Mark, and she gave me the thing because she knew I was a panelist. Anyway, 1 o'clock, according to a sign out in the lobby, was the Otaku Army. And they did have a table in the dealer room, but they never showed up to do their panel or whatever, I guess, which would have been about themselves. And I asked Jason about it. Jason went to the lobby and asked the woman. She said it was the Otaku Army. And then I'm like, Jason was like, I'll go out there and I'll talk with them and get them in here. I'm like, you don't have to do it. You don't have to bother them about it if I'm going to be their only audience member. And he's like, yeah, you never know. So he walked out there. He had also gone out to kind of hawk my Sailor Moon panel, to no avail, really. But anyway, he went, And I think I heard the girl apologize or something, but yeah, it turns out later on that she decided to not really do anything at 1 o'clock because from 2 to 4, Jason basically had a Doctor Who party, which consisted of some discussion plus the screening of the 50th anniversary special, which went over, past 4 o'clock into the time for the costume contest prejudging. And so that happened, and immediately afterwards, after about a 10-minute break, I think it ended around 4:50, she told everyone to be back at 5 for the costume contest itself, and she sent her assistant out to round up an audience. So they had the costume contest at 5. It lasted, I don't remember, maybe around a half hour. From 6 to 8 was supposed to be a dance. I'm not sure which room that was supposed to occur in, but I didn't stick around for that because I had to go to church, because I had to be up at 7 in the morning to be at work on Sunday. So I had to go to a church in Beverly Hills, which has 6 p.m. Mass. But yeah, there was a lot of just waiting around and walking all over the dealer room to same tables over and over again. After my Sailor Moon discussion, so basically from 1 to 4, I did nothing but really walk around the dealer room for 3 hours. I got some snacks, I bought some stuff, and I took some pictures. But mostly I kept going through each table and each display like over and over again, trying to spot some things that maybe I had overlooked before. And it was pretty boring. I played some video games like Soul Calibur 3, which I think I actually own. And one of the Street Fighters, I don't know which. I think I played on an Xbox. Mortal Kombat was tied up, and Street Fighter was tied up most of the time as well. I had gone up there to play because it was empty, but a guy who I guess was in charge of the gaming said I needed to register with him in order to play. And besides, the controller was already taken. It's just that the guy had gone up to do something. He came back, he said he didn't have a second player, so I was free to fight against him. And then the guy that was in charge said, okay, now you can play. And I didn't have to do anything with him. All that I had to do was pick up the second controller and play. And I don't think it was Street Fighter even. I think it was like, let's see, it had Darkstalker characters in there, and I don't know what kind of game that was, but anyway, I lost. The guy was like, thank you, which I guess was code for, okay, get up so someone else can play against me. So I did. What else? Yeah, I was pretty bored, honestly. There was something going up on the stage. There was a stage in the dealer room. Mostly people standing around, or either standing around or sitting in a circle, and there was some guy leading them and doing something. At one point I asked Jason what was going on. He said they were playing a game called Ninja Slap. Okay. He said at one point that while I was trying to get my Sailor Moon panel going, that this was not the kind of place to like get people together into like for a common discussion or anything. Most of the attendees seemed interested in either wandering the dealer room or playing games or whatever, whether it's video games or the games on the stage. So yeah, but his Doctor Who panel had a much bigger audience than mine. it still was nowhere near filled to capacity, but I mean, I guess Doctor Who beat Sailor Moon. Anyway, I don't think I got pictures of all of the contestants, but I figured out how to delete some pictures, so I deleted some redundant pictures and pictures that I didn't really need from the dealer room in order to take some more pictures of some more contestants, but anyway, it kind of just, it was disappointing this time. I took along on my portable audio recorder to record my Sailor Moon panel, which, trust me, there was nothing to record. Nothing of note. You could hear me asking some questions, I guess, if I had decided to record it, but you wouldn't have been able to hear anyone's responses. Anyway, now for the swag, such as it is. I found this in at the manga table. Complete collection of Sailor Moon trading cards. Supposedly a complete collection. Guy came up to me and said, "You know you want it, because it's a complete collection, and you'd pay $5 for like 10 cards otherwise. So $5 for a supposedly a complete collection. Different pictures. I might do a separate video on this. I don't know. Different pictures with common back image, with a description of, you know, the subject in question. It says there are 72 of them. I'll count them later on to be sure. So that's that. I got a keychain. Not that I need it. A fan art keychain type of thing. I wanted a picture of Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune together. She didn't have one, but she agreed to do a double-sided keychain, whereas they're usually single-sided. So $6 for this. Sailor Uranus on one side, Sailor Neptune on the other. Yay. It's cute. Might hang it up in my room. So that's that. I mean, there was a girl dressed as Sailor Venus, but she also had like a yellow or white long underwear or something. I don't know. Under her Sailor Fuku, and she didn't even have a tiara, but I guess she was Sailor Venus. I took a picture of her in the dealer room. There was also a girl that I didn't take a picture of that I guess was dressed as Sailor Mercury because she had the blue Sailor Fuku, but she didn't have a blue wig and she didn't dye her hair blue. She just had, you know, short black hair. I guess she was supposed to be Sailor Mercury, I don't know. Ironically, neither of them entered the costume contest. Anything else of note? Really can't think of anything else. It was just, there weren't as many events as usual, and the dealer room, the lighting, there were just these little small lights in the ceiling, so it was darker than I was used to. Now, the panel room at the armory is usually darker than I was used to, and the entertainment room is brighter. This time it was the panel room and entertainment room all in one. So, it was bright enough. It's just that things weren't happening in there, really, except for a 2-hour viewing of Doctor Who. I stopped in there every so often to check it out, including right when they were getting ready for the costume contest prejudging. I watched the last few minutes of it, and I don't know. I mean, Doctor Who doesn't really seem like my thing. I guess the most interesting thing that I did was staying around with Jason at the manga table, and I asked some questions about manga and stuff like that, but I was just trying to fill up time, mostly until the costume contest, because that's really the highlight of the CGA show, and it kills me that I didn't bring my normal video camera, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to get this cheap one, or not video camera, picture camera, and I'm not sure I'll be able to get this cheap one with half the driver's load and stuff like that, so I can transfer the pictures, but I'll try to figure that out. And that's it. It's 12:30 p.m. and thanks for watching.